If you are anything like me and are just skeptical about dang near everything, then you have a home here. Welcome to the Go Show, celebrating all things outdoors in this beautiful outdoor playground of a world that we live in. And thanks for sharing out, and playing along in our little reindeer games here. I am going to attempt to do some technical things so we can definitely play that game because it's gonna get it's gonna get techie here on the Go Show today. So as you having some fun here. Already got this going, and I shouldn't have it going yet because it is not. There we go. Not going. So there we go. Yeah. And if you are looking and searching around for the podcast is available darn near everywhere you get podcasts. We are still working with our battle with Apple. It just is what it is. I for some reason, again, five tech support people from Apple itself, and we can't seem to get this thing resolved. So we will get this thing resolved, and we are going to talk about something pretty crazy today. So this episode will be only available streaming on Facebook and YouTube. Will not be available on Spotify or because we're going to do a lot of video. So it doesn't really play well on a podcast when it's just you can just hear something and don't know what it is on video. So let's play this game. Today we are going to break down the Jimmy John elk hunt, and it's important to me to talk about this because I want you to understand that there are two sides, actually three sides to every story. It's one side, the other side, and the truth. The cool thing about video brings us truth, and I'm going to have you watch this with me, and we are going to we're going to break this down as grown adults. How about that? And we're going to see both sides of this. And the reason why I'm bringing up the Jimmy John elk hunt is because the rumor has not quite been confirmed yet. The rumor is the last auction tag, and I mean the last is in timeline last auction tag went to Jimmy John again. So Jimmy John bought another one after this 3 or 4. I think this will be 4 years after his last. But Jimmy John was used as an example of why we need to eliminate auction tags by your Arizona Game and Fish Commission. So this was basically I wouldn't say public enemy number one. It was Exhibit A on why just rich people get to do this, and it isn't really hunting. And there was a lot of things that we're going to look at here, and in a big credit actually to Rogue Outdoorsman and A3 Hunts for this video. So let's look at it together. Let's check it out and see what this is. Jimmy John, obviously the dude that started the sandwich shops. So he is potentially holding another commission tag. Oh, so this might start a kerfuffle. So if it starts a kerfuffle, I want to make sure that you have everything that you need as we move forward and you get in discussions with your buddies at elk camp or deer camp or just around a barbecue this summer. And you get to basically you were going to come armed with, I saw the video. I made my own conclusion on whether this should happen or not. And we'll go from there. So to get you caught up in credit Rogue Outdoorsman and A3 were the guide service. A3 is the guide service. Rogue Outdoorsman, this dude had a beast on a trail cam. I mean, he'd been watching this bull for a hot minute. It is it's almost dinosaur-like, this thing. It's absolutely, the rack on this thing is huge. You're going to see it. This dude had it on trail cam, told A3, hey, listen, got this bad boy, got it on. Let's go do this. So let's take Jimmy John out there. So here they are. They're moving up and towards the here. This is them say hiking in. And now understand this. You see who's on here. What is missing from this is actually Jimmy John. He's not there yet. So Jimmy John isn't quite there yet. And okay, it's fine. The guides already spot a solid set of bulls. And I said that correctly. A set of bulls. A set. So now you see it. Boom. Look at that bad boy right there. Woo! Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, target acquired. So this is where we pause. And this is where we have the first discussion. The first bit of discussion is this hunting? You have a guide service that went out. They found the bull and they're already on it first thing in the morning. Now we holler to go get our client, and the client comes and takes it from there. So that's the debate, whether this fits into our version of ethical hunting or not. If you want to know where I am very clear on this. I have been very clear on this. I have not changed my stance. I can see both sides, and we're going to look at both sides today. This is legal, fair chase. Whether it is your chase or someone else's chase, this is legal, fair chase. It is very fair that Jimmy John has $500,000, $700,000 to throw down on a tag. It's fair. Dude worked hard. Dude built an empire, sold it, has more money than he knows what to do with. So this is what he does with it. So getting to this point, the other side of the argument is Jimmy John did no hunting. There was no hunting on this side. So he didn't do it. So of course we've been through the story before, but I want you to see the video. So I want you to see you with your own eyes in the video evidence. Remember, 3 sides to every story: his side, your side, the truth. So right now the guides have found they found now look at this. Watch this. This is crazy. Hey, how about that one? Holy mackerel. Look at that beast. That's option 2. Oh, look at this. Okay, so now again, that's the trail cam video to the right, and this is the bad boy. Is this our target right here? Is this the one? Is this the one we want? Seems to be matching up pretty well, right? And then, so essentially there are 2 trophy, almost record bulls in their sights. Pick one. So let's look at both sides of the argument again. Okay, do you have to take the biggest one for $500,000? Yes, that's me. The second thing is this was caught on trail cam. You knew where this thing was going to be. Is that ethical? Is that fair chase? At the time, once again, in my opinion, it was legal. It was not against regulations that it is now. This is 3 years ago. Right now, you can't use trail cams at this point in time. This time of the season, time of the year. So those are the questions. Those are the reasons why. And this, what you're seeing, is why we had the kerfuffle with Game and Fish. So check it out. Here we go. Boom. 1, 2. 1, 2. Holy cow. Okay. And the other side of the argument, simply as we're watching this, the other side of the argument is, as hunters, here we are watching this going, oh. It's like if you travel a lot and you're watching a dream vacation online, you're like, oh my gosh, look at that. That's amazing. And this is, to me, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I wish I was in this position. I really do. I wish that bad boy was on that wall right over there outside the studio. Would love that. Nope, not in the cards, but here we go. Look at that thing. This is absolutely stunning. And the antlers actually grow with. Okay, so Jimmy John's arrived. Now, after all that, now this is where it gets, see, he's getting his gun out and setting up. This is where those that are anti-hunting or anti-commission tags get into their kerfuffle. This is when they get their chonies in a twist. Right here is everything was done. Everything was sighted in. All of the work was done. And here comes the guy with a lot of money on a donkey. So here he is. He's arriving, and now he's just getting his gun out, and he's just setting up. That's the argument from the other side. Me? If I had that kind of money, I'm going to tell you this. I would have a, when the royalty used to bring out, there's people that was carrying them on their shoulders, the whole little setup that they had, their little tent or whatever. And there's like 5 people on each side just carrying the thing, and it's kind of nice and slow. That's the way I would want to be brought to my elk. That's the way. If I paid $500,000 for a tag, $700,000 for a tag, you know what I'd want? I want a donkey. You put me on a donkey? Y'all carrying me. That's all it is. I don't know. A3 charged him. I had no idea, but I bet it wasn't cheap. So let's go. Let me hop aboard. Okay. And I would like pillows and a ribeye, steak and ribeye. Eggs and ribeye. Yeah, let's do that. That's what I would do. Jimmy John came out on a donkey. For me, I'm like, I'd say no to that. Moving on. Yeah. See, so this is why they're getting set up. It's great. Let's get moving along here. Now it's moving around, thinking about what they want to take as far as the shot, deciding which of the trophies they want. They're deciding which record bull they want to take down. Decide which one do you want, bud? There you go. That one. That one. Again, I'm not opposed to this. Yeah, I'm not opposed to this at all. But look at that thing. That's all I can think of. Every hunter right now is watching this video going, are you kidding me? Look at that beautiful. That is amazing. That you would mortgage the house. You would hawk your kids' college funds to get a tag like this. You would. Holy beast of a beast. There's a lot of whispering happening here. A lot of whispering. So they essentially right now, if this is the bull to take, essentially right now they have it. They have the shot. This is just absolutely stunning. This broadside. I mean, just how do you want to take this thing? Big Jimmy John. What do you want to do, bud? JJ. What do you want to do? I like how they abbreviated JJ just instead of saying Jimmy John, but yes, JJ. And okay, so this thing goes. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna skip ahead here. Look at this thing. Are you kidding? Look at this. Holy. How does it carry? You're almost doing this thing a favor. How's it carrying that rack around? Holy mackerel. Woo! I shot a ram once, and when it was down, the set of male parts on this thing, I think I did it a favor. That thing was beating rocks and it's terrible. What a horrible life. I kid. All right, let's get to getting here.
I got it.
All right, see, this is okay. I want to show you what they do with this thing. A little while later, I want you to. We're at 960 yards. Look,
yeah, right
pop, dead ring it. That's a 10-ring shot. That is a 10-ring shot. I want to replay that for you. You have to understand how perfect that shot from nearly 1,000 yards.
I got it.
And look, now it's kind of look. This is an animal expiring. I understand that.
You guys think I hurt him?
But
yeah,
there
you hit him in
is
the shoulder.
you didn't hurt him, dude. You put it. This animal is just waiting to find a comfortable position to expire. I'm not kidding.
Just let him be. We don't want to hit that animal.
But Jimmy John does the right thing here, in my
You
opinion.
guys think he's sick?
Does the
yeah.
right thing. Does the right thing and actually chambers another round and waits for another shot to put the animal down. I am not opposed to this,
Just in case.
but he didn't need to. You just saw the actual. It was straight 10 ring at 1,000. And see, I'm not there. We'll pause this here. The first shot was an ethical shot. The first shot took the animal out. The animal's done. These animals are they're adrenaline filled at that moment. These animals are stronger than anything you could possibly imagine. And let's face it, no creature in the world wants to expire, so that animal's holding on. That was a darn near perfect shot from almost 1,000 yards. So that was it. Where I borderline have the question, and I'd love your opinion on it, where I have, and I question this, is that second shot was the ethical thing to do in normal situations. In normal situations, you would want to take a second shot, make sure the animal expires quickly, and there's limit the pain and suffering, right? That's our goal as outdoorsmen and women. But this is at 1,000 yards, right? So the first shot, money, nails, perfect. Couldn't have asked for a better shot. No way in hell I would have ever taken that shot. I would have never. I'm not that good. I don't have the type of firearms and optics that Jimmy John can afford. I can't. So I don't have that. But here's the gig. He did. The first shot was a 10 ring. He wanted to put it down with a second shot. I don't think the second shot was a well-placed shot. I don't think it was. But I do understand where he's coming from, so I give him credit there. Second shot probably wasn't. I mean, the other side of that argument is simply, do I take a second shot at 1,000 yards? Am I risking the same thing? Am I risking the same thing in hurting the animal when I shouldn't be hurting the animal? I should just let it expire, is what the argument is. Okay. So it goes down. It's they wait for it. It's gonna find a nice spot. I'm gonna spare you that through the video, and there you go. It just lays down right there, and it's done. Done and done. Yeah. So they have now they have an expired trophy bull, and there you have it. Now, here's where we go. Again, that looks like yeah, it's fine. Okay, good. What's the big deal here? Here's the deal: is what comes up next. So a little bit. There's going to be a little bit of there's going to be a little celebratory stuff happening here, and there we go. This is what I want right here. And so,
Canyon, 960,
high fiving, doing all that. And by the way, some people don't like that, and it's okay to not like that. I love that. There's a celebration, there's a high five, and there's so much adrenaline going on. There's so much happening inside emotionally. There's so much happening inside. You look around. What do you say? Kind of friend, not societally. Oh, what is it? I just basically, your own people are there. So they're excited for you. You're excited that they're here with you. They're sharing this whole thing with you. There's a lot of adrenaline, a lot of emotion happening. So yeah, a little hooting and hollering sounds like the right thing to do. And Jimmy John, and look at this. Okay, so that's Jimmy John. Now, I pause it here for a reason. Again, part of the argument that Jimmy John about this hunt, the reason why they used him as an example of why we shouldn't let just rich people come by these tags, is that he let that bull hold a lot of ammunition. He took a lot of shots at that bull. I want you to look at this frame right here and tell me how many shots he took. I'll wait. You can count. Didn't take that long, did it? Two. There might be three if I'm throwing my glasses on, but he might have one that he chambered again after that second shot. Who knows? But he did not get that thing into a dang volley for the love of grief, and how some people make it sound. It's not what happened. But now I want you to look around in this. Now we're going to switch up. We're going to switch up to optics. And you are about to see probably the biggest elk rack you've ever seen in your life because it is a trophy. So let's go ahead and do this. They get down to it. Again, this is the outfitters are down to it. Jimmy John's not there yet. Jimmy John's getting back up on his donkey and getting out to it. And before I saw a picture of Jimmy John, by the way, I only heard the arguments of this video. I thought Jimmy John was some Fat Albert kind of character, like hey. That's what I thought he was going to roll up on the bull and say, but he didn't because he's just whatever. This guy, he's just chunky. Dude on a chain of sandwich shops. You kidding me? I'd be weighing in at $4 bills. Woohoo! I love that sandwich at number 12. Forget about it. So yeah, whatever. I'm from California. I like cucumbers. I like avocado. Just deal with it. So the argument was that he was just too fat and lazy. He had to hire a bunch of people. Like it was just this sloth of a man, and it isn't. He's just he's a dude that the doctor might say, yeah, I got to lose a few lbs, but he's back on his donkey and he's heading back around. Now, here's where it gets crazy, and this is where you and I are probably going to have. Why don't you look at this? Look, here he shows up on his donkey. Here he comes riding in like conquering hero. Donkey. This is where the optics play. Look at this. Look at all these people. That's him down there getting off his. Look at these people. So now, optically, the people that don't hunt, the people don't know the story, the people that actually have just heard about this, that's it. They see this and they're like, well, darn it, they're right. There's 50 people here. Gang's all here. This looks like a family reunion. This looks like a barbecue. These are a bunch of people that showed up to see this hunt. It looks like, optics-wise, it looks like what? Jimmy John didn't hunt this thing, man. Look, all these people like kind of hurt, like almost like they were on a two-sided drive. If those that don't know what a drive is when you have a hunter set up in a location, and then you have one or two people flank off to one side and just kind of walk around, kind of mill around, make some noise, and see if you can jump something and move it towards the hunter. That's called a drive. You're driving the target to the hunter. That's what this looks like. This looks like there was a 360-degree just drive, like just keep this thing pushed to that spot. And that's not the case. It's not the way it was, as I understand. But the video here, the optics shows something that is just not, it's just not okay to me. The optics wise. I know what happened. We saw the video. Now you know what happened. And now you know what the kerfuffle's all about. Now you know what it's all about because you're seeing this firsthand. You're seeing the video of this. And from an outsider's perspective, you could look at, yeah, I could see how they'd be thinking, if they don't know better, they'd be thinking, wow, all of these people hunted this thing Jimmy John did. Let me interject here. Even if that's the case, so what? So legal. That Jimmy John didn't break any laws. Jimmy John didn't break any basically code of really anything. Because we've all been on, oh, this is terrible what he did there. You've been on a drive. You have. You've taken a corner or two. You have. That isn't breaking the law. It's legal. If it's legal, that's fine. Jimmy John has this as a trophy, and God love him. I wish he made a signature sandwich out of this because I can imagine how good that is. Oh, elk sandwich. We got to work on that. Elk steak sandwich. Intern Nuge. You'll work on that, will you? Write that down at least. I'll introduce you Intern Nuge later. So this is really a celebration that has the optics of all of these people hunted for the guy. These are a bunch of people Jimmy John knew. Maybe the A3 guys were there. I'll tell you this. If somebody tapped me on the shoulder and said, Mike, Jimmy John is going to go on his hunt here at this time. Do you want to just go? Do you just want to check it out? Do you want to interview him? Do you want to talk? Do you want to celebrate with him? Hell yes. Of course I would. Why wouldn't I? I would love to have been here for this. I really would have. Holy mackerel. Just not to get my hands around that rack. Absolutely beautiful. Just to see this animal. It just, wow. Yeah. So anyway, you see him in the right side of the frame there. He's the one on the donkey about to dismount and check it out. And it basically just, again, this comes down to optics. Yeah. And look at this, just getting off there. And look, he's not an obese dude. He can drop a few lbs. Again, the man is the sandwich dude. I would weigh 400 pounds if I owned a sandwich shop. I really would. Now see, here he comes, and people are excited for him to see it. They're being respectful. They're laying back. But to the layman, to the people that don't hunt, this looks like these are all your employees that have hunted this thing for you, and they're stepping aside while you have your moment and get up here.
Oh, JJ, come check this out. Can I carry you?
Yeah, the last 50 feet, the last 7
Yeah, you gotta understand. This is.
That's not 2.5. That's freaking 4.
Look at it. Okay, now you see Jimmy John coming up here. This is why people are having a hard time with it. He's making jokes about himself. Sorry about the language. He's making jokes about himself, and that's okay. He's making jokes about himself, and you have to understand, if you haven't been in this country, in this part of Arizona, what looks like a little hill right there that you could just easily walk up is like walking up a ladder. It just is. So the optics here again are he was too big, he was too fat, he's out of shape, he couldn't do this on his own, so he had to have somebody else do it. That was the argument. So why can't somebody that is in shape, that does work out, that does hunt Arizona, that has contributed contribution, why don't they have an option to get a tag like this? Okay. These are all the reasons why they were using this Jimmy John hunt as a basically as an example as to why we don't need or need to get rid of commission auction tags. So the rumor, if the rumor is true, that Jimmy John has bought the last one that was up for auction a couple of weeks ago for $501,000. If that is the case, guess what? Because they have a certain amount of time before they come through and the payments finalized and this and that, and they can announce who it was. That's a rumor. If that rumor is true, Here now you're armed with exactly how you should feel because hey, what about the last hunt he had? What about it? What about when he jumped on a shark? He didn't jump on a shark. That was a fake. What about this? You understand the anti-hunting crowd? There's a protest, boycott Jimmy John's. A, he doesn't own it anymore, so you're just hurting somebody else. And B, they will do a lot. They will edit videos, deep fakes, all that to make things look worse than they are to win hearts and minds against this type of a deal. So look, you've seen it. Now you know. You've lived it. If anyone asks you about that, what about that Jimmy John tag? Say, yeah, I saw the video. Did you watch it? No, they didn't. Did you watch it? Okay. Well, here's what happened. And you can explain the whole situation. You explain the entire scenario. And so I encourage you to be informed. Let's get some different views of this thing. Actually, if we could look at this. Are you kidding me? Come here, look.
Who's ever videoing it? Who's somebody videoing
Woo!
it? You're videoing
Look at that thing.
So,
they can barely get their hands around it.
So I'm not a hunter. I go with hunters, and I made a lot of dough, and which turned into a lot of dough. And I'm really not a hunter, but I go with great hunters, and they're the ones that get me to be able to do this stuff. And so I'm really grateful for my guys' experiences in a bull like this. I'm just grateful and appreciative. It's one of the most amazing bulls I've ever seen, but the people that I get to be with to do this stuff, Willie, then Ryan, and all you guys from Arizona to do this for me, I'm just touched and appreciative. I want you guys all to know that. I know this is your world, but I just appreciate all you guys for your hard work and the skills that you guys have to do what you do, because you're as good as what you do as what I am at what I do. We're all good at what we do, but I certainly can't do this. I'm not sure if you guys can make a sandwich or not.
Hate him. Don't like him. I dare you. Don't like that guy. Humble, self-deprecating, and thankful. Holy mackerel. Not, look what I have done. I have conquered the beast. Nothing like that. He is humble. He is thankful. He has a clear view of the situation. He has a very clear view of the situation. He's not a hunter, so that means that he doesn't have the skills to pull something like this off. Here's what he's got. He's got the money. Do you have this? Think about your truck. Do you have the skills to make that truck, to build that truck? Probably not, but you went and bought it. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me this is different. Tell me. It's not. I love my F-150. I absolutely love my truck. I can bear I don't even know what I'm looking at. I popped the hood. I don't know. So I went and bought it. And now I need to fix it. Guess what I do? I don't fix it. I pay someone to do it. And I'm thankful for that. I'm not a mechanic. I pay someone. This guy's not a hunter, but he wants to take and have all of this hundreds of pounds of meat, and he wants to have the trophy, and he wants the experience, and he understands the experience. I see nothing wrong with this. Nothing. And I tell you, it's good to see. It really is good to see that the man, and afterwards, when we get a little later in the video, guys, take the pictures, do what you want, take your time. I'm just going to hang out. And essentially, he hung out and just enjoyed the moment. He enjoyed the moment. He enjoyed the camaraderie. He enjoyed having friends like this. Put yourself in someone like Jimmy John's shoes. Okay, I want you to put yourself in his shoes. And I would like you to understand that Jimmy John is a very wealthy man, and he created a very, very big business, very successful business. He's most likely been surrounded by yes people that are there smooching his booty. Could you imagine in corporate, he shows up, he comes into a meeting, oh, it's Jimmy John's here. And everybody's all worried to be around him. That's not a cool existence. That's really not a cool way to live. It just isn't. And so when I see somebody like that get pulled into our world, get pulled into what a deer camp, what an elk camp is like, what the moment is after the harvest, after the animal expires, and everybody's standing around taking pictures, and it's just this reverence, this humility, this humble vibe, and this brotherhood, this bond. That dude got to experience that. There's no other way Jimmy John would ever, or a person like Jimmy John would experience that ever. Because all they have had is their booty kissed most of their professional career. And now and say, yes, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. Oh, here he comes. No, this was just, you're one of us, man. And he looked around and he saw a group of people that do stuff that he could never do. And like he made the joke about the sandwich. Hate him. I'd try. I dare you to not like that guy. I want to be, if he does, if the rumor is true and Jimmy John has that next tag, someone holler at your boy, please. Please. And I want to go. There it is. I want to be a part of it. Because I believe that auction tags should be a thing. And I am, just full disclosure, I am the vice president of the board of directors of Wildlife for Tomorrow. The president is James Guggenauer, the man who put forth the motion on the commission to eliminate auction tags. We're friends. We're buddies. I can call him after the show. Chat it up with him. He's a good human being, and we disagree. That he knows my stance. Chairman Geiler. Chairman Geiler and I agree perfectly. We agree that this is all good. That these types of things should happen. That man that you just saw say, I'm not a hunter, has contributed financially more for hunting in Arizona than any hunter I've ever known. The lot of them combined. Combine. And their friends combine. And their friends combine. All in one tag. All in one shot. Plunk. Here's $600,000, $500,000, $700,000, whatever it is. And there they were. The whole crew, the whole lot of them. And on top of that, ancillary stuff, all the hotel, lodging, airfare, the firearm, for the love of grief, wasn't cheap. And the Pittman Robertson dough that came on top of that, oh, here you go. Food, all of that stuff. All of those people had to stay somewhere. So I am I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Jimmy John. I'm a fan of that hunt. Hopefully I can work my way into being a part of the next hunt. And I just want to observe. That's all I want to do. Hang out. Check it out. Meet the man. I want to find out what he means by I'm not a hunter, but you all are. Then, okay, then define hunter for me. Because I know a lot of people that define themselves as hunters, and they just go out and maybe pop a few dove every dove season, and that's it. So let's define hunter. That's what I'd love to ask him. And yeah, I obviously the guy, you listen, you try to ride a donkey for as long as that man riding, you get off that thing and you just start running around. I can't. So we'll see. We're going to return tomorrow with some normal programming that isn't breaking down a video, but I really wanted you to have that information. I wanted that in your quiver, so to speak, the next time you hear, oh, but what about that Jimmy John character? Okay. I watched the video and I hope you made your own opinion. I really do. I'm not going to try to tell you what your opinion should be. You know what mine is. That's all I can do is give you mine, and hopefully we can have a discussion. So I appreciate all of you hanging out. I hope this was informative. I hope this made you think a little bit. I hope this made you want to talk to others about it. Maybe that you talked to about the commission tags along the way. And hopefully we can just keep discussions going, because that's the only way we win, y'all. That's the way we win hearts and minds, is we keep discussion going, keep an open mind, be calm, be cool, and always, always, always do your best to show up with facts. That's why we got to see that video today. Tomorrow, we're going to do it 11 o'clock. How about that? We'll chat with you mañana right here on